It's been a long time coming, but Hellblade 2 is finally here, and so are the reviews. Question here is, did it live up to the lofty expectations it set out? And let's talk about the controversy that now surrounds it, up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Alrighty, so Hellblade 2 is finally here, and the reviews for it are rolling in slow and steady. Speaking of slow and steady, it seems as if with every review that comes out, the score for this game continues to go down. Now, I've watched other channels talk about this game and they threw out numbers like 83, some said 82, and I'm talking about Metacritic here, but as of right now, when I recorded this here video, the game sits at an 81, which, in my opinion, isn't totally bad, so whatever. And just kind of getting on my soapbox here, I know these numbers and reviews matter to people, and you got every right to think the way you do. But my personal take here, devoid of any kind of facts, I tend to just play the game regardless of the review score it gets prior to launch, and then I'll cast judgment after I've played it. But then again, that's just me. Now, working off the numbers provided, Hellblade 1 also got an 81, which lines up with 2, so I guess that's a good thing. Now, the little asterisk near all that is that the first game had fewer mixed reviews, but they had the same score. Now, to encapsulate the reviews across the board, the general consensus here is, if you like the first game, more or less you're kind of getting the same deal with the second one, which again, I guess that's okay. Also, let's not forget those over-the-top visuals. Just like its first entry, I think the main selling point for Hellblade 2 is 1, its story, and 2, like I just said, its visuals, and not the combat. It's a slower paced game that'll take you around 5 to 7 hours to get through, which I do think that's a nice length for a game. Again, it's just my attention span. I like it short and sweet, I like when it gets to the point, and that's the case here. Now, this is when the story for Hellblade 2 has kind of taken a turn, as Ninja Theory released this here thank you message to fans. And you can pause it to read the whole thing, but you know what to expect with these kind of things. Now, when I read it, I thought it was just that. It was just a general thank you letter for fans and their support. And this is a common theme amongst most developers nowadays. They release a game, they say thank you to fans, and they move on. I really didn't read into it. Although, when you scroll through X rapidly like I do, when you get a blurb like this randomly posted on your timeline, you expect the worst. I'm looking at you, Cyberpunk. But people took this message and twisted into this story that this was Ninja Theory giving its final goodbyes, and that Xbox was closing down the studio following this launch. Now, I get it. Things have been very rough for Xbox. But come on now. This is one of the reasons people believe that ever so elusive Xbox tax. Just think about it. As bad as Xbox has been lately, and you know I've been pretty critical on them for the past few weeks, and that's to say the least. I don't think any company across the board in their right mind would bring the axe down on a studio on their release day. Now, at the same time, I'm not ruling anything out lately, but a choice like that, which is a rather big one, would most likely come after they see how the game is performing. Now, Xbox would most likely take into account many things here, and one of those things being a promising future pipeline for games coming from the studio. But what's even worse here is big outlets in the gaming world started to hop in on this trend, and they themselves jumped to these conclusions. I honestly don't know what happened there, but Jez Corden debunked all these rumors, and this is what he had to say. Quote, some people on social media have been trying to spin the message as a negative. Given Microsoft's recent closures of studios like Tango Gameworks, with some extrapolating that Ninja Theory as a quote, smaller team within Microsoft Pantheon may be targeted by Microsoft cost cutters in the financial suite. However, we can confirm via our trusted sources that in addition to Project Mara, Ninja Theory's next game has already been greenlit. There are no plans whatsoever to close the studio anytime soon. So, for the time being, everyone can kind of take a chill pill here. It looks like Ninja Theory is involved in Xbox's future in a big way, so that's always good to see. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass it off to you guys. If you happen to get your hands on Hellblade 2, what are your thoughts on it? Did you finish it? Because it's pretty short. Let me know in the comments section down below. But that about does it here. I've been Kalo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.